Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. So, in the earlier video we show some important commands of Terraform. And now, in this session, I'm going to talk about data sources. So without any further ado, let's get start the session. Terraform provides data sources for certain providers like AWS. Data sources provide you with dynamic information. A lot of data is available by AWS in a structured format using the API. Terraform also exposes this information using data sources. For example, there's a data source that provides you with a list of AMOS or a list of availability zones, because that is dynamic information, and that can always change, that you can then use as an input in Terraform and then use it. Now another great example is a data source that gives you all IP addresses in use by AWS. This is great if you want to filter traffic based on AWS region, because then you can see what are the IP addresses in use in that region, and then you can filter on those. You can say, I only want to allow IP addresses from that list. So, let's say we want to allow all traffic from Amazon instances in Europe. Filtering traffic in AWS can be done using security groups. Incoming and outgoing traffic can be filtered by protocol, IP range, and port. Protocol can be DCP, UDP, ICMP. IP range is a range of IPs, it can be one IP, it can be thousands of IP addresses. And port, SSH, uses port 22, and HTTP, website are using port 80. It's very similar to IP tables in Linux, or just a firewall appliance that you might be using. That is what security groups are in Amazon. So now, here's an example of a data source that we can use. First, this data is going to be used as an input. When we specify regions equals US West 1, EU Central 1, we are specifying that we want to see all the IP addresses for the regions US West 1, which is Ireland, and EU Central 1, which is Frankfurt. And we also specify that we only want to use it for EC2 services. We can use the data in our AWS security group that you see here. We can specify an ingress rule like an inbound rule for incoming traffic, and we can say, we are only allowing the IPs from these data, in these IP ranges, European _EC2 CIDR blocks. So this, CIDR, is a range of IP addresses. So, basically we're saying, these ranges of IP addresses are allowed to connect to port 443 using DCP. We also add a few tags. We added a tag of, when it was created, and we also added a tag, with a sync token. So, if the data changes, then this sync token will change. And the next time that you run Terraform apply, it will update the security group again. So guys, that's it for the theory part. Now let's see practically how data sources works. So here, the files that I am going to use are in demo4 folder. Now here, I have provider.tf file and vars.tf file. I specify a default region here that can overwrite. I still have the AMOS, which are actually not necessary. And my credentials are now in this .aws credentials file. Now, the only thing that's different is the securitygroup.tf file. So don't worry, I will explain to you what this means. You have the data that is being pulled from AWS that contains all the IP ranges. We filter it on these two regions. We only want EC2 services, and these is what we are going to feed to a security group. So, here we use this variable, data, AWS IP ranges, data, which refers to this data, AWS IP ranges, which refers to this ranges. Then the name European EC2 is European EC2. And then the attribute we are going to use is CIDR blocks. Now, I am going to do just Terraform apply. And then we are going to see what is going to happen. Apply complete. It added a security group. Now let's have a look at this security group in our console. So here, as you can see, my VPC dashboard, and I am in my security groups. Here, I filtered for the from Europe security group. And then, I can see that it added all those inbound rules. Here you can see, the port is 443, secure HTTP, protocol TCP. And this source, those IP addresses, those ranges, they come from this data resource. So, they are pulled from the AWS, and then we are using them in our security group. It has the tags here as well, creation date, and a sync token. If the sync token changes, whenever there's an update, and I do Terraform apply again. And then these, inbound rule will be updated. So, if you have to manage dynamic data that is available, using data source, then this is a really good way. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I will see you in the next lecture. If you have any question or any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye and have a nice day.